Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov. This week's Torah portion is Titzaveh. And fascinatingly, it's the only Torah portion from the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu in the beginning of the book of Exodus until his death at the end of Deuteronomy, where the name Moshe, Moses, is not mentioned even once in the entire Torah portion. And our rabbis say it's not a coincidence, it's deliberate that his name is omitted from this week's Torah portion, because the Torah begins the parsha by saying, "And you shall command the children of Israel." Who is you? Moses. But it doesn't mention him by name. And there are many answers given as to why his name is not mentioned. But one answer is because this week's Torah portion is all about Moses' older brother Aaron, who was the high priest and wore 8 special clothing when he served in the temple. And this week's Torah portion is all about the 8 special garments that Aaron the high priest wore. And therefore Moses says, this week it's all about my brother. Every other Torah portion, it's about me. It's my brother's Torah portion. Let me step aside. Let me put the spotlight entirely on him. Let this be his moment of getting honor and recognition. And here we have another example of the love, the brotherly love between Moses and Aaron. You see, the book of Bereshit, Genesis, is all about sibling rivalry. One story after another, beginning with Cain and Abel and finishing with Joseph and his brothers. But the model of Moses and Aaron is one of true unconditional love. As a matter of fact, when God came to Moses at the burning bush and said, "I want you to take the Jewish people out of Egypt," Moses says, "Me? I have an older brother Aaron. He should be the one chosen. He's older." And what does God say to Moses? Don't worry about your brother Aaron. When he sees you were chosen, he will rejoice in his heart and be happy. Not only won't be envious, but he'll be happy that you, his younger brother, his baby brother, was chosen. And Moses and Aaron shows us how all Jews, all brothers, all family members should love each other unconditionally, to be happy for each other's success and never be envious of one another. We learned so much on our trip in Israel about love and unconditional love and sacrifice when we met dozens of hostages who have just been released from captivity after 500 days. And one of the great heroes we met was Sasha Trufanov. Sasha's a Russian boy who, together with his girlfriend Sapir Cohen, were taken hostage on October 7th. Sapir was released at the end of December and has been waiting for him to come home. And we met with them together, and what a joy it was to see them reunited, as well as with Sasha's mother, Alina. But tragically, his father, Sasha's father, was murdered on October 7th. But to see Alina with her son, Sasha, and her, God willing, future daughter-in-law, Sapir, and to be with them together was such a joy. And there have been many stories about the hostages. And one of them was that when Sasha came home, he told Sapir that in captivity, I prayed that you would find another man and fall in love, because I didn't want you to have to wait for me for the rest of your life, because I never knew when I'm going to get out. And when we were sitting with Sasha, I said to Sasha, what gave you the strength to survive? Because he told us that he was all alone in captivity. Unlike some of the other hostages, he was alone. He had no one to talk to. I said, how did you endure 500 days by yourself? And he said, there's one thing that kept me going. When he looked at his mother, Alina, and he said, I knew that my father was murdered on October 7th, and I am an only child. And whenever I thought of my mother, I didn't want her to have to be alone in this world for the rest of her life. That's what gave me the will to survive, to carry on. What an example of selflessness, of love for one another. When we think of each other, when we live not just for ourselves, but for our loved ones, for our family, for our friends, it gives us a greater will to live, a greater purpose, a greatest mission. And therefore, like Moses and Aaron, we should always make space for each other, let the light shine on each other, honor each other, elevate each other, strengthen each other, and God forbid, never be envious, but on the contrary, rejoice in each other's accomplishments and success. Have a wonderful day.